Is your toddler bedtime routine turning into a marathon of negotiations? Well, despite your best efforts, you might be making one critical mistake that is sabotaging the entire process and making it last longer than it should. Be prepared for a revelation that will transform your evenings and have your little one tucked up in bed on time and without a struggle. So what is this one big mistake? Well, it is the fact that a lot of parents give in. And I know I can hear you saying, but I only did it the once. But that is all it takes. And on top of that, giving in isn't always what you think it is. It's not just taking your baby or your toddler into your bed or letting them get up and watch 10 more minutes of television and then trying to put them to bed again. There are other ways where you can be giving into your little one and you might not even realize it. These include delaying the bedtime routine by 10 minutes because they have asked you if they can play for a little longer, watch a bit more TV or whatever. Letting them spend a few more minutes in the bath when they ask, oh, do I have to get out yet? Letting them have multiple drinks of water when they ask for it, when you finally said goodnight. Or when you are allowing them to read multiple books when 2 had been agreed on. All of these are giving in. And when you give in to them, you are letting your toddler know that stalling works. And if it works, they're going to carry on doing it. So how do you regain control of the bedtime routine? How do you make sure that you are in charge and that you are guiding it forward and that you are not letting your toddler push those boundaries and get away with more than they should? So how do you not give in? Well, you need to remember that toddlers thrive on routine. They thrive on predictability and they know what's coming up. So if they have got clear boundaries and they know you are in charge, trust me, you will get less resistance and your bedtime routine will run more smoothly. So here are my top tips for preventing your toddler stalling at bedtime. Number 1 is be present. Now, I am always saying that the bedtime routine actually starts after the last meal of the day. So this means that you need to be present from that point forward. You need to be present to ensure that play remains low key, that there aren't any screens or phones being used in that period in the lead up to bedtime. And it also means that you can be there to guide that preamble to getting ready for bed. So rather than being in the other room and shouting instructions like, you need to tidy up because we're going upstairs to have a bath in 5 minutes, you need to be present. You need to be telling your child what's coming next, and you need to be able to walk them through it. And that leads me on to number 2, which is giving timely warnings. Toddlers like to know what is coming up, and you need to make sure that you vocalize your warnings in a way that they can understand. They're not going to understand in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes. You need to use the process of when and then. This works really well when you're letting them get used to the idea that the bedtime routine is about to start. So when you have finished your jigsaw puzzle, then we are going to go upstairs and have a bath. So they get to finish what they're doing, but they actually know when that has finished that you're going to go upstairs for a bath, and you need to follow that through. With older toddlers, you can use a timer. You put the timer on and you say, when the timer goes off, can you please turn it off? And then we're going to go upstairs and have a bath. So you've not mentioned 5 minutes, 10 minutes that they don't understand. You've kept it visual, or you've kept it in a place where they are developmentally able to understand the sequence of events. Now, number 3 is that you follow the same routine every night. It's really important that you have a solid bedtime routine that you follow and you do the same thing in the same order every night. Again, toddlers thrive on routine and predictability. And if you always follow the same routine, there's less room for negotiation. Also a good idea to get your toddler involved in this routine. So if you have a bedtime routine chart where you've got a picture up that signifies what comes next in the bedtime routine, you can ask them, what are we going to do next? And when they've completed that stage, they get to put a sticker on there. And so they're involved in the whole process, and it also helps them keep it moving. If they're excited about putting a sticker on when a certain part of the routine is finished, it's going to keep moving, then less likely to stall. And point number 4 is offer 2 acceptable choices, because you're going to have to be very much in control of the bedtime routine to keep it moving. So within that control, there are multiple times when you can actually offer your toddler a little bit of control over the routine, but in a safe way that's not going to derail it. But when you offer them choices, it's important that they only have 2 and that they only stick to those 2 choices. So there are many times when you can offer them those incentives. You can say, which choice of toys would you like to have in the bath tonight? And you offer them and they can choose them. You can ask them which pajamas they would like to put on, the red ones or the blue ones. And you can ask them which books they would like to read. They can choose 2 books. Now, if they resist, which they might, and say they don't want to choose, then you say, would you like me to choose for you? Because you seem to be having a bit of difficulty choosing. And chances are they will then jump in and make the choice. But it's very important, especially when it comes to the books at bedtime, that you stick to it, because that is one area where your toddler will want to stretch it out. Can I have one more book? Can we have just one more book? 2 is the maximum, and you have to stick with it. Yes, especially if you've given in the past, you will come across some resistance, but you have to stick with it. And I promise you that within 2 or 3 days, week at the most, you will have your toddler accepting the fact that it's 2 stories and 2 stories only. And the final step, number 5, is that you should stay one step ahead. This is really important, because your toddler will find opportunities to stall if they think you've forgotten something. So you need to be the one that is offering the glass of water, the bedtime snack, the trip to the bathroom. Don't wait for them to ask of them, thinking that if you don't offer it, then they might not need it, because trust me, they're saving it for later when they're in bed, and then they're going to tell you that they need it. So you need to know that you've ticked all those boxes before you kiss them goodnight. Now, of course, there might be opportunities or occasions when your toddler does need something after you've said goodnight. There might be a genuine case. And that's when you say that you offer them 1 pass a night for something that they need after you've said goodnight, and explain to them they're only allowed 1. So then they have to think very carefully before they use it, because once that 1 pass has been used, you're going to say, no more, it's time for sleeping. If you would like to learn how to establish a really strong bedtime routine, or you are encountering any type of bedtime battle in addition to stalling, then take a look at my Bedtime Battles course, which deals with all of the possible issues that you might be having around bedtime. There's a link in the description box below. So remember, when it comes to toddler stalling at bedtime, the key is that you must never give in. Sure, if you've been giving in up to now, you are going to meet some resistance. But as I've already said, if you stick to it, if you stay in charge and you make those boundaries very clear, then you will see positive results within a matter of days. Now, I've put some really useful links in the description box below to some videos and some of the posts on the Teething to Tantrums website that address all sorts of bedtime issues that you might be having. So take a look at those. And no matter what your parenting issue, if you've got any questions, then you might like to consider my very exciting new parenting resource called Pocket Paula. It gives you 24/7 access to parenting advice. And there is a button in the description box below that you can click for a free trial. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Your little click makes a big difference to our channel, and we appreciate all of your support. Thank you for watching.